All right, and we are back. And like we did with the Heroes contract, let's do a little bit of a deep dive in talking about your three light astromon contracts. Now, unlike our Heroes contract, our light contract actually does give you three very decent choices. However, again, because of the Light Arthur event, that is the chief purpose of why we are picking him, because you can't argue getting a free 5-star Astromon already Evo 3'd and then getting its ultimate evolution. So looking at Light Arthur, just so you can see, and this is why even though we're just rocket firing Arthur, there's still a good reason why. He is very, very good. And I want to point this out real quick with this, right? This is a Nat 5, so he's a 5-star Astromon. And look at him at 6 stars. Look at this attack power, already at 3,900. I talked about in the last video where, you know, your Dark Mona is going to be your workhorse, and she is. Well, super evolved Dark Mona in this aspect, you have to see, is even lower attack than just base 5-star Arthur. That doesn't mean she's not as good as Arthur. Trust me, she is. But the thing here is, this is why we're taking him right off the bat. Now, look at what happens when we go to Ultimate Evolved, right? You Ultimate Evolve Arthur, and we get up another 400, almost 500 attack power, right? And so this Astromon is going to hit like a truck, and it's just going to be complemented by the gems that we eventually put on him. So this is why we are going after this Astromon in this. But I want you to point out his skill set, because this is the other thing that's important with him. So not just with PvP, but Shock can have a purpose in PvP or PvE. So we just unlocked the Chaos Tower. Again, more videos to kind of cover with this. But Shock is very useful in climbing up the Chaos Tower eventually, because some of the bosses can be shocked. Namely, the last floor, you can shock Gilgamesh, and you can basically make it trivial. Now, I don't have too much success with it auto-battling because the AI is just dumb sometimes. However, that doesn't mean my team doesn't get through it. It does 100% of the time if I'm watching it. But Shock is very important because not only does it stun, but it also turns around and they have reduced defense. This goes back then into Hunter. So not only are you shocking, but eventually when you do his active skill, so if you are running like SP Siphon, you can do in critical hit damage. Again, you're running a water Persephone that you will eventually get enough Persephones to build up. You will have the extra crit to already help out. And then when Arthur is critting, he's already going to do 50% more damage. This goes back to your Dark Mona. Both of them have Hunter as their second skills. This is why the two of them are going to be great for wave clearing. And then again, his variant skill, sadly, this goes back. This is Grace of Life. It can be important in certain scenarios. However, you're going to benefit from having a defense down, a critical strike increase, a damage increase. Other than Grace of Life, you're just going to want to be doing damage. But here's ultimate skill, though, is what it's good. Upon using his super skill, so doing his active skill twice, his third time around, he's going to have Puncture. And Puncture is, you've already used to it on your Fire Draka. Puncture is great. Ignoring 70% of the enemy's defense, well, guess what? You're gonna destroy the thing that's in front of you. Arthur's gonna hit like a truck. And so this overall is why Arthur is still very, very good. Now, we're gonna kind of go again down here. And this time around, I believe, if I remember right, let me look at her real quick. That one's there, and then you are here. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of both on the same kind of choices here. Again, if we didn't have the Arthur event, this still would be a pick for Arthur just because of how these are. Now, I will tell you, on my main account, I did pick Light Odin when I eventually got around to doing my Light contract. And I have her Ultimate Evolved, and I can tell you right now, my Light Odin, she's really good. She's good for PvP, keeping everyone alive because of her own max HP, and then her aggression, and then she does have Grace of Life. The issue with this is sadly aggression falls off so harshly that it makes it very, very weak. My favorite Astromon in the game is Light Victoria, and she has aggression, but it's for defense. And so if they removed a little bit of the caps on these, this Astra might be a little bit better. However, she is a very hard to kill, and because you're stacking HP on her, and she's also healing you every time she goes here. Now, that's not to say aggression isn't good. It's just it falls off so drastically that it's not worth it. And so even as a tank, and that's why Odin is what it is, she's got a high HP here. Even Ultimate Evolve jumping it up to 53,000. I think my Odin is somewhere in the close to the 200,000, almost 200,000 HP range, which is very respectable, but she just doesn't do anything for your account. And you guys got to remember that. We're trying to get Astromon to be able to farm the content to get you gems over and over to then work towards summoning something. And that's the big thing to remember here. So that comes back to balanced Valkyrie here. You know, balanced Astromons, really, they're okay. They don't know what they really want to be, i.e. that's why they're balanced. But let's look at her kit. Light Valkyrie is not a bad Astromon even with PvP, because look, we have another 100% chance to shock. Great. But what falls off is she doesn't have the attack power that Arthur has, and then she has damage reduction. And this is a good skill. Don't take me, take that the wrong way. It's a good skill to have. However, the goal in most of this game is, yes, there are certain titans that you're going to want to be living long enough to be doing damage to eventually kill it. I get that. However, if you can kill the thing before it kills you, that's kind of the way to go. And this is where her leader skill does come in, but we're not getting a variant out of this. So Fighting Spirit wouldn't be too bad. Again, Valkyrie's pretty much the second pick in my opinion, just because I have a light Odin and it took me so long to build it and do all that. That Valkyrie, her kit overall, having the shock and the damage reduction for PvP when the Champions League and stuff like that comes around, is just more worthwhile in my opinion. Okay, so out of everything, this is why we did this. And this is me trying to show you guys, I want to 100% show that to you, is this is what you do with Astromon to kind of evaluate their worth in the game. Attacking Astromon aren't the only ones you're going to be building. There is a place for these tanks in Monster Super League. Trust me, it's not just have a full force of attacking Astromon. You're going to need tanks. You're going to need to be able to soak some damage. One of the dimensional dungeons, for instance, is those aren't attacking Astromon I run. They are all sapping Astromon that have, they are tanks. They're there to live. But remember, it's not just one Astromon doing the work. It's as a team. So you're building a team to conquer something. Again, my Dark Persephone, one of the best, if not the best, attacking Astromon in the game, outside of maybe Dark Gilgamesh. Dark Persephone, like I said, she can run into an Astromon that will just either kill her or she can't kill it. But she can clear, I would say, 98% of this content very, very easily. So with that said, those are my picks for the deep dive. Again, those are just kind of my thoughts on it and why we're doing it. But if we didn't have the Arthur event, I mean, I'd still be picking Light Arthur no matter what. He still is great to help push the account forward. So thanks for all the likes, guys. Thanks for the new subscribers. Thanks for all the support. I am always humbled by it. And I will see you all in the next video.